Alrighty, welcome back. Wow, that loaded so fast. What the? That was like the fastest load I've ever seen a PS2 do. Maybe it's because this field is so small. Also, I'm like off screen. Hold on. Okay. Welcome back to Final Fantathon, our quest to casually let's play every mainline Final Fantasy game plus some bonuses. It is so good to have you back with us. And it's so good to have everyone here on Twitch as well. Man, every week I get more and more excited to play. I am constantly being reminded why this is my, was my second favorite, now my third favorite game of all time. Yeah, man, every week is a banger. It's been so fun to talk about the game and talk about some of its problems it has as well. And I've been reading some comments about some of the issues the game has, and I definitely agree with almost everything I read. I think everyone has a really good tell on this game and what's good about it and what's bad about it. It really just comes down to whether or not the bad is bad enough to make you not enjoy the good, or vice versa, you know? But yeah, it's been a blast just talking to everyone about the game. We're coming in on an interesting spot. I didn't really want to end last week here, but I had to, so we're kind of interesting spot to start.
Kamari's with her, but maybe you should go too.
Oh, Lulu telling me, okay.
Wonder what you do, huh? Think you'll quit her pilgrimage?
That's what you want, right?
If she really wants to keep going, then I guess I shouldn't stop her, you know? That's what I think anyway.
That's weird for her to say that. Because that's not really what happened. Like, she changes her mind quite quickly.
Must be tough for Yuna.
Yo, RPG, thank you so much for the primer. 13-monther. Can I talk to Orin?
Maybe you should talk to her.
Thank you so much, RPG. I appreciate it, man. So, quick note about this scene. It will 100% get demonetized on YouTube, which is fine. I don't care. But there's a small chance it actually gets removed entirely from YouTube. I really hope that doesn't happen. I could, like, mute it, but I don't want to do that. The whole point of this is to, you know, see the whole game and experience the whole game. So I'm gonna let it go. Whatever happens, happens. Hopefully it doesn't get removed from YouTube. If it does, then we just gotta go with it, I guess. You'll have to Google this scene and watch it. But hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't care at all about it being demonetized, so I'm not gonna worry about that. But why does Kamari just point? It doesn't even look like you're pointing in the right direction. Pointing to, like, the trees. Water hug TM. Also, this isn't how water works.
This would be easier somehow.
She's just, like, standing.
I thought that everyone would help me, with all my friends together beside me. I've been trying so hard.
Maybe you're trying too hard. They told me everything.
Everything? Well, so then, you know.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just, you know, all those things I said. Like, let's go get Sin, or about Xanarkand. I didn't know what would happen to you, Yuna. I guess... I hope it didn't make you sad. Forgive me.
I wasn't sad. I was happy.
Yuna! Just don't do it.
The pilgrimage?
Yeah. That's right. Forget all about sin. About being a summoner. Forget all of that. You know, live a normal life. Come on now, Yuna, what do you say?
Maybe I will. Wouldn't everyone be surprised?
Yeah. Except Riku. She'd be with you. Lulu and Waka wouldn't hold out long.
Kamari would say yes, too, I know. But Sir Orin...
I'll make him understand, Yuna. It's the least I can do for you.
No, I should tell him. He deserves it. What'll I do if I give up my pilgrimage?
Hey, Xanarkin. Let's go to Xanarkin. Not the one in Spira, the one I'm from.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we can all fly there. Everyone can go. Then we'll have a big party at my place.
And then we could see Blitzball.
That's right.
Your Xanarkin Aves would play?
Yeah.
We could all watch you play, in the stadium all lit up at night. I'd cheer and cheer till I couldn't cheer anymore.
Yeah, right on.
Well, what about after the game?
We'd go out and have fun.
In the middle of the night?
No problem. Xanarkin never sleeps.
Yuna's like, what is
Let's
fun?
go to the sea. Before the sunrise. The city lights go out one by one. The stars fade. Then the horizon glows, almost like it's on fire. It's kinda rose-colored, right? First in the sea, then it spreads to the sky, then to the whole city. It gets brighter and brighter, till everything glows. It's really pretty. I know you'd like it.
I'd like to see it. Someday.
Well, you can, Yuna. We can both go. You...
I can't. I just can't. I can't go.
Yuna.
Yeah, didn't you know? If you're in a lake kissing a girl, the graphics suddenly get better. It's a true story. Oh, I must try this. So, I mean, the scene's really long, so I guess we can talk about it now. Because this is just water dancing. This scene is really cool. I don't think I'd seen anything like this on PS2. The water effects, and I mean, they obviously like spent all the budget on this scene. I don't know, it doesn't look that much better than the first scene though. The first scene is also really crazy good. I think the first scene and this scene got all the budget. I don't know, I mean, even like the Seymour scene is great. This game just has really, really good cutscene graphics. Are they drowning or flying in the air? Yes. Would be cooler if it was in Moonflow. I don't know if there's any like I don't know if there's any like significance to it being in this lake. I actually really didn't think about it. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a reason for it to be in this lake or not. Maybe. What do you guys think about this scene in general? Just out of curiosity, like the whole like. I think the thing that really sticks out to me about this scene is it's really long. Like they talk for quite a while, and I kind of like that because it doesn't. It makes it feel less like out of nowhere. Like I don't know. They actually really take their time and make it feel like a real thing. Where they sat here and talked for a while and were like, you know, it doesn't feel like unnatural. Where a lot of other scenes like this feel unnatural in games. What I really like about this scene is it's very important to the plot for a lot of reasons. But like Yuna has just reached her breaking point, and so she's actually like really pretty much, I mean, if anyone's kind of been in this position before in their life where like they're kind of looking over their whole life and deciding like what to keep and what to throw out, that's kind of where Yuna is right now. So she's like actually really contemplating quitting. And they really set it up in this way where it's like there's no reason for her not to quit almost at this point. Because, like, Bevelle is already turned on her anyways, you know? So there's all these reasons for Yuna to quit. And she still doesn't. And I think that's what's important about the scene, is that this truly shows us how committed she is. Because at this point, like, if there ever was a time for her to quit, it'd be now, right? And so this does a lot to show us, like, her resolve. Because Titus gives her all these things they could do, and we just got done getting through the Bevelle nonsense and her realizing that it's all a lie and everything. And so, like, if there was ever a time for her to quit, it'd be now. And she still doesn't. So, like, this is a huge point in her story where like we truly get to see her resolve. So that's the part that I like. I think that it's really great for her story. I don't really like the love scene is fine. I don't think it really did much for me as a kid, and that for obvious reasons. But like, it was whatever. Like, I think someone in the chat said like awkward time for dad to walk in. Like, yeah, when you're a kid playing this, you're like, okay, but you know, it sets up an amazing scene later. So it's like it's fine. It's more than fine. It's great scene. But as a kid, it probably didn't impact me as much. The only part of the scene that I don't like is the whole thing with Xanarkin. It's really like weird. Like, I understand what he's trying to do, but the way that he's like, let's just fly to Xanarkin. Like, he knows you can't do that. And Yuna knows you can't do that. If I was trying to talk someone out of something that they've basically spent their entire life, you know, crafting, I wouldn't be giving them these like false hopes. I'd be talking about stuff that you could actually do. You know what I mean? Like let's go back to Luca. You know, I wouldn't be saying let's go to Xanarkin. You know, like just be like because they both know you can't just like. And I'd understand if he said something like, "Let's find a way to get to Xanarkin." Like, let's find a way for Sin to send us back in time and go to Xanarkin. Let's find some magical something that'll send us to Xanarkin. But he literally says, let's fly there. And they both know you can't just fly there. So that was the part that I was like, why does he say it that way? Like, I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess, but I don't know. Like, me personally, I wouldn't be, like, because it seems like he's trying to talk her out of it. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they're just being both super fantasy-ish about it. Maybe Titus knows she's not going to quit. And he's just kind of going along with it. I don't know. I was just thinking about it. It's like, I don't think I would phrase it that way if I was actually trying to talk her out of it. To me, it feels like Titus is trying to talk her out of it. That's how this scene, because the way that she's like, every time she says something, he like jumps on it and tries to say like, yeah, we could do that. You know, to me, it feels like he's trying to talk her out of it. So if I were in his shoes, and I was trying to talk someone out of something, I would phrase it in a way that's like realistic. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think you're right. I think he's just going along with it. Like he knows, because even she said at the beginning, like, there's probably a way to get to Xanarkin. So he's just going along with what she thinks. But I don't know. That line always stuck out to me as kind of weird. Like I wouldn't have said it that way. I wouldn't have said, yeah, let's just fly there, you know? I would have been more like, we'll find a way to get there, you know? Since, you know, I was sent here, so we can definitely get sent there. Like, you know, I would try to spin it in a way that's like, oh, that's possible, you know? I don't know. It's interesting. Interesting to think about. Squeaky, thank you for the raid, and Nitro, thank you for the 500 bits, and Cassius, thank you for the 16 months. And Salem, thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you guys. How's it going, Nick? So yeah, I think that was all I wanted to say about it. What do you guys think of the song? I think the song's pretty good. I think this was like, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is kind of the first, well, I guess there's also Final Fantasy IX, but this was the beginning of Square Enix and, well, Squaresoft, but it became more prevalent when Square Enix took over. Them trying to implement more Japanese culture into the games that they sent overseas. There's already a lot of Japanese culture in these games, obviously, but this was like the start of them, like, we could implement like Japanese music, you know, that, like, especially this game has a lot of like Japanese style art and clothing and stuff, whereas I would say 7, 8, and 9 are much more generalized, where they have their interesting clothes and stuff, but it's not really Japanese inspired. It's like their own style. Here they like, in Final Fantasy X, they actually really went very Japanese with a lot of like Yuna's clothing and a lot of the NPC's clothing, and then like the music here and stuff. So I think that's cool. They were able to express that through the game in a way that doesn't feel like it's out of place. Because I don't think the song feels out of place. Maybe when you listen to it as a kid, because you haven't really like heard anything like when I first played this, I had heard nothing like that. So I'm just sitting here like, what in the world? Like I had at that point, how old was I? If I played this when it came out, I was 8. I don't think I was 8. I was probably 9 or 10 when I played it, because I don't think I got it right when it came out. I probably, was still just listening to what my parents were listening to, which was mostly rock and roll. So, like, this was totally out of left field. Like, what is this song? I was like, what in the world? But listening to it now, I don't think it feels super out of place. Like, it doesn't, like, totally shock me. Maybe it's because I've played Kingdom Hearts at this point. But, I think, like, and this was setting the seeds for Kingdom Hearts, I think, Like, you play Kingdom Hearts and they were a lot more willing to throw the dank Utada song in as the main theme. Because this is not the main theme of the game. It's just one song and one scene. But, shortly after this, they create Kingdom Hearts and have Utada create the entire theme of the game that plays multiple times. So that's cool to think that maybe this was like the test for that. Maybe not, but it's cool to think. I saw how do you donate a game for me to play? I actually have heard of Infinite and Undiscovery. I have it sitting right here because someone else donated it. We're going to be playing it for a fan day sometime soon. So, and then if we like it, we'll probably add it to the Let's Play list. So we got you covered. But if you do want to donate anything, 48productions.com/support will get you there. But don't worry about that because I already have it. Thanks for the happy birthday. It's not my birthday, but thank you for the happy birthday. Appreciate it.
I'll continue. I must. If I give up now, I could do anything I wanted to. And yet, even if I was with you, I could never forget.
I'll go with you.
What?
I'm your guardian. Unless I'm fired.
Yep, fired.
Stay with me. Until the end. Please.
Not until the end. Always.
Always then.
I didn't even know.
You should head back to camp
I didn't even
first.
notice that smile that Kamari does.
Roger.
Did you do a smile there? I didn't even notice. Titus, big smooth. Also, one other thing that I forgot to mention, especially that scene there, it really drives home the fact that Yuna is not doing this for Yevon, like for Bavel and stuff. She's doing it for the people. And they kind of like plant the seeds of that earlier with some of the things she says. And then also the scene with the little girl when she's like, "Are you going to bring us the calm?" They plant some seeds of that, but you start to realize it more here where like she's not doing it because her dad did it and Bavel says she should do it and et cetera, et cetera. She's doing it for her own reasons. She's doing it for the people. She's doing it to be the savior of humanity. She's not doing it because some book tells her to. So it's cool to see that, and it tells you a lot about her character.
Wait. I'll go with you.
Is that awkward? That awkward walk she does. And then Titus with the cool guy walk. Like, yeah, she's holding my hand. Alright. I've 100% done that before. Gotta show the swag.
Sir Orin? Waka? Lulu? Kamari? Riku? Everyone, we leave at dawn.
And what about me?
And... I'm sorry for putting you through all this. And,
Enough. You need your rest.
Yes. Good night.
It is pretty weird, like, does anyone feel more connected to Yuna because Titus doesn't have a name? Like, we've talked about before how Titus doesn't have a name. So, you kind of feel a bit more like you're him. Like, he's supposed to be you in this world. So, in a way, it's, like, easier to be more connected. Maybe I felt that way as a kid. Maybe that's why I connected with Yuna so much. It's possible. I don't feel that way, but maybe. I think maybe, like, I still, like, I'll always think that the beginning of the game is done so incredibly well with how you identify with Titus. I will take that to my grave. I've always said that. I will always say that. Like, I think the beginning of this game is masterful in the way that it puts you in Titus's shoes and everyone explains things to you because Titus doesn't know, and you really connect with the character in that way. I love that, right? But as the game goes on, Titus gets more of a personality. He also has, like, the crazy clothes where, like, you see him and you're like, this is Titus. He's also not a silent protagonist, you know, like in Chrono Trigger, where, like, you can kind of put yourself in the shoes of the character because you're the one. Anytime he does dialogue, it's you saying it. So there's a lot of things about Titus that gives him his own personality. But so I think, like, as the game goes on, it feels more and more like Titus and less like you. But I will always stand by the beginning of this game. I think it's brilliantly done, where you kind of connect with Titus in that way. But yeah, I think as the game goes on, Titus becomes more of Titus, and you kind of separate from that. You might agree with everything he's saying, in which case maybe you do connect with him even more, but, you know, I think a lot of people get to the laugh scene and they're like, okay, this isn't me. I would never do something as cringy as that, right, guys? I've never been cringy in my life. I've never done anything cringy in front of a girl. That can't be me. I'm just saying, everyone seems to think that they've never been that cringy before. I hate to say it, but you probably have. You just don't know it. Probably just deleted it from your memory banks. If you think you've never done anything as silly as that, you just are keeping it from the forward part of your brain. You've pushed it back. Oh man, here we go. Come Calmlands time.
The Calmlands. Long ago, the High Summoners fought sin here. The road ends here. Beyond, there are no towns, no villages, only endless plains.
Many summoners stray from their path and lose their way here.
I want to do that. That looks fun.
I've always known where to go.
I won't let you die. I'll find a way somehow.
That's not connected to what she was saying, but okay.
Let's go.
So anyway.
I told Yuna I would find a way. I guess I wanted to believe that words could make it come true.
Also, how's it going, Turbo? How's it going, Platonic? Thank you, guys. And Astro League with the 19 months. Thank you. Yeah, that's totally out of place. Like, she was saying there's always been a temple for me to go to, but now it's just like this giant plain, and I don't have Bavel behind me anymore, and so I have to, like, carve my own way to the end of the pilgrimage. That's what she was talking about. But Titus is just like, by the way... But I guess that was... We gotta get that out of the way, because that's gonna be pretty much the rest of the story
What next?
for a while. Them trying to find a way. Beep bop, beep bop, beep beep bop.
See ya!
Yeah, so that pretty much spells the end of, like, this section of the game. I don't know if this is necessarily the start of Endgame. I would say Xanarkand is, maybe, but... this is, like, there's been this huge chunk of, like, just go, go, go. Like, nothing but story and bosses and no blitzball and just, like, boom, boom, boom. Probably one of the best parts of, like, any video game I've ever played. Like, there is not a dull moment from the time you, let's see, pretty much... Maybe, like, right before Desert? All the way up to now. It's just... Like, I forget, when's the actual moment where you can't blitzball? Trying to remember when the first save point is that you can't blitzball. But whenever that is, to now, is just like one of the best stretches of gaming I think I've ever played. It's just non-stop action, non-stop story reveals, non-stop bosses, you know, just really good stuff. I mean, I'd almost even say that might be the reason why a lot of people, like, start just doing post-game stuff now and kind of, like, never finish the game. Or, you know, even get to later, like Mount Gagazet or the last dungeon, and then just, like, quit. Because this almost feels like we just experienced the game. Like, there's just so much that happens here. If you quit now, it'd still be a great experience overall. Kazius, thank you so much for the gifted sub and the 333 bits. You guys are so amazing, so amazingly giving this morning. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Yeah, so we talked about it before. Yo, Chocobo, thank you for the 4 months. We talked about this before, but there are a lot of people that, like I've talked to probably, I don't know, 20 or 30 people that quit at Mount Gagazet at a certain boss. And I know personally probably 8 or 9 people that quit at the final boss. It's very common to not finish this game, it seems. And I've heard a lot of different reasons as to why. When this game came out, it was a very, very big time for gaming. And it's quite the long game, at least in comparison to other PS2 games of the time. So a lot of people just simply were ready to move on to another game. A lot of people get stuck at the boss at Mount Gagazet and just don't want to grind. A lot of people have my half brother or my stepbrother actually told me the other day that he went to I don't know if it was like a psychiatrist or what, but he went somewhere and he was told that he has a condition where he actually has trouble finishing things. It's an actual condition that he has. Because when we were kids, I would watch him get to the end of so many games and not finish them. And this was one as well. He got to the final boss and didn't finish it. He said it's an actual condition he had. He always thought he was just maybe not into, he's just not as much of a video gamer as he thought he was or something. And that's why he says it's an actual issue that he has where he will get to the end of things and then not finish them. So I don't know if anyone else has that issue, but that was what happened with him. Because I was always mad at him as a kid for not finishing this game. I watched him get to the final dungeon and not finish it, and I was always like, dude. But yeah,
What should I do?
it always made me really sad when I heard of all the people that didn't finish this game, because the final scene of this game is one of my favorites of all time, and it's one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite games. The final scene I absolutely just love so much. So I'm always sad when people don't get to see it. But I also think that the game is really good up to there too. If you quit at the end, you still had a great experience. So. I don't want to say it's a waste of time to get to the end and not finish, but it is a shame, you know. But I think a lot of it too is the time in which this game came out. It was just there were so many 2000, 2001, 2002 was just an insane time for games. So the second renaissance of games, 3D games and whatnot, so yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way about kind of the start of the PS4 era.
Perhaps you'd like to know a bit about these plains.
Oh, please tell me, Maka.
Mm-hmm. As you know, these plains were once a battlefield. A great battle between Bavel and Zanarkand, a melee of Machina. That war left this place a barren, lifeless land. Then time passed. The summoners took note of this uninhabited land. Great battles could be fought here with no harm to the common folk. Perfect for a final battle with sin, as it were. Summoners wait here, ready to perform the final summoning. Ah, to know what they must feel. In any case, when sin is defeated here, the calm will visit Spira once more. That's why this place is now known as the Calm Lands. Exactly who dubbed it so is unknown. And that, as they say, is that.
Is that? I just thought of something.
We'll get through this.
It's end game, but we don't get to experience it in this version anyways, so I guess we can talk about it without spoilers. You know how the final post-game boss of the EU version is Penance? The cutscene where Penance appears, he comes from the Calm Lands. I wonder if there's like a reason for that. I wonder if there's some kind of like, he was the ultimate Machina, or he was like another thing that got spawned from these lands when the final battle happened. Because I would imagine the idea is that this is where the final battle happened with the Machina, and then Sin was actually born from like this area. So I kind of wonder if like the same is for Penance. I don't know. I wonder if there's a reason for that, or if that was just the easiest thing for them to easiest thing for them to do, because the Calm Lands is like a giant field. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting to think. Yeah, Penance is pretty insane. I go back and forth. Like, what do you got? I don't know how many people here have fought Penance, but when people ask me what's the hardest super boss of the whole series, Penance always comes up in my head. But it's complicated because Penance is really, really, really insanely difficult, but if you know what you're doing and you have full sphere grid with 3 people, he's not that difficult. Like, you just have to know what to do, and then like you could probably beat him every time. And then on top of that, there's a cheese. So it's hard for me to like say it's one of the hardest. Like, I don't know. It's hard in that the setup is hard, but once you get there, he's not really that hard of a fight. Whereas something like Ozma can kill you almost any time you fight him. So like, I don't know. It depends on. We've talked about this before with like what's the hardest game ever, because difficulty is so subjective as to what you're willing. Like, some people think that a lot of grinding equals difficult, whereas other people say like randomness is difficult. So it depends on what you think is difficult. Some people would say that like something like Celeste or Super Meat Boy isn't difficult because once you learn it, you can beat it every time. Whereas something like I don't know, Crypt of the Necrodancer or something is super hard because of the randomness. Like, there's sometimes where it's just almost impossible to beat because you get bad spawns. So like, it's really subjective. Yeah, other people would say that like Yzmat's one of the hardest because you just need stamina to beat him, you know? How's it going, LJ? Maybe Penance is from the people which died in the Machina War, maybe. Yeah, it'd be cool to come up with some like theories as to where Penance comes from, because I don't think there's really a right answer. I was hoping I'd be able to ride one of those at some point. Also, I like how that dude flies up to you and then just disappears. I don't know what that's about. It's kind of weird. Alright, be back in just a second. Okay. I don't remember. I remember the guy over here, and I remember the thing in the middle. I don't remember anything else. I also don't remember what you can do here yet. I'm just gonna kill some monsters. Yeah, Every's a great fight. Yes, this dude has some stuff. But it's very expensive. This staff is pretty good. This is kind of weird. Magic counter's kind of random. But cool. White Arm Guard's really good. Savior Bangle's good, but I already made that really good one. Look at that Bracer. Because we want MP question mark? An auto med. Which isn't bad on Riku. I'm all good, thanks.
This one is mine.
Ancient powerful machina from early back in the day. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's interesting to theorize. Cool that we don't know for sure.
Well then, what next?
Booyah. Kind of suddenly doing a lot of damage. All those levels we got. With the new PS Game Pass thing, adding PSP games, what are the chances we get Crisis Core? We were talking about that last week. It's not really, we don't know. Like,
Let's get him, guys!
on the one hand, it makes a lot of sense, but on the other hand, we really don't know at all what kind of, like, state Crisis Core is in. I would have to say good chance of no, but would be very cool. Yeah, I think it's cool to think that Penance is just its own, like, being that's detached from everything else.
Oh, you again. You're quite the notorious traitor these days.
What's it to you?
Ah, you shouldn't take what the Maesters say too seriously. For summoners, destroying sin is everything. We are no tools of Yevon. Understand?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Dude, just like maybe a drinking game wouldn't be good because they're so separated, but do something every time Yuna says yes, because there's like 9 of them throughout the game.
are you up to the task?
I do not know, but I will do
I
my
forgot how
best.
many of them there are.
You've got
So many of
spirit,
them.
but you'll need more to beat Sin.
Yes.
An Aeon duel. Show me what you're made of. Excellent. But before we begin,
I'm gonna lose this one terribly too.
I've just healed your Aeons for you. Let us begin.
Sheever. They have TBN. Shiver me timbers.
Choose your Aeon well, Summoner.
Well. Yeah, that's probably why. A lot of the weird timed dialogue is because of the translation. But I also think that the direction was a bit weird too. Like, it's a combination of the both, I think. I only have fire. Yeah, tell me that after I'm already in the battle. Nice dodge. Also, I have no frost. Haha, get wrecked. I was going too sad. Yeah, so like a lot of the Japanese words were shorter. Like Mavic said, the word for high in Japanese is very short. Or high, yes. So a lot of it is simply the translation team trying to insert the dialogue in a way that they didn't have to change the scene. But you know, that's really unfortunate because at this point, Final Fantasy was very well known to be coming out in North America. It's not like at the last second they were like, hey, can you translate this? So they should have put more effort into like extending the scenes where they needed to extend them. You know, actually have the animation team be part of the translation team and try to like, or even just do some maybe life hacks like slow down some of the animations or something, you know what I mean? Instead of, because like the lip syncing is also really bad. And in future games, they were able to do it in a way where they could have the animators work directly with the translators to change the lip syncing and stuff. But back then, I guess it just wasn't as important of a thing, or they didn't have the time or the resources to do it. It was all done post, so they had to shove the English into the Japanese animations. They made it really awkward. Go, heroes. Good to see you, man. How's it going, sweetheart? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well today. Alright, if I Hellfire, he gets 3 turns, but I think we survive, hopefully. I already have no frost up. Let's see what happens. I'm a little afraid she casts Blizzara and then does her overdrive. But we'll see. Hopefully this gives her her overdrive and she just uses it right away. Holy moly, the damage. We might be in trouble. Oh, okay, we're good. Just stand in front of me and kick me. Perfect. Oh, I already had it, though. Wait, why does she not... Wait, oh, wait, what? Okay. I'm confusion. Just taking it easy on me. Yeah, if you're unaware, we're doing a marathon of every Final Fantasy game. We're doing it for almost 2 years now, where we're chronicling all the games in their absolute original states. So we're playing every game in their original versions, or close as we can get in English. Well, to be precise, every original North American version. And you can type !Fantathon for more info. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. But yeah, if you're all about the originals and kind of chronicling them for future generations, then you're in the right place. Mavic, thank you for the gifted sub to Sweetheart as well. Sure. An actual Final Fantasy fighting game like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter would be amazing. I mean, Noctis is in Tekken, so I guess. If you count Noctis as a Final Fantasy character. Also Ehrgeiz, yeah.
Stop. That is enough.
We actually won! I mean, Dissidia isn't really the same type of
Impressive.
fighting game, so I
Remarkable
wasn't
talent.
counting that.
Traitor or no, you may have what it takes to beat Sin. Take this. You have earned it.
Great.
Thank you.
Power spheres.
I think you will do just fine. But if you ever feel like you want more training, seek the hidden temple of Remium. I will be waiting there. Farewell.
It's literally like 2 feet that way, but okay.